to Mr Twyford, Section 14F does not change the liabilities of the current Act.
Raymond Ho.
Chair, the Minister in the Chair made very constructive contributions, and in particular he mentioned about licensed pilots and airlines, and that has actually prompted me to ask a question. When has it become a luxury for us to ask an airline pilot to just fly his or her plane safely? The Building Act review is nothing more than to address, among other things, the safety issues. And naturally, such a piece of legislation would concern three main parties: the consenting authorities, the building practitioners, and the end users, i.e. the consumers. I pretty much enjoyed the contributions made by the members of this side and the members opposite. I pretty enjoy the contribution in particular made by Ms. Jackie Dean. I'd like to follow the good spirit of Honourable Shen Jones to doing some characteristic things by reading an email addressed to Ms. Jackie Dean and the others and copied to me. So that email was sent by one of the top structure engineers in this country, Mr. John Scarry, and read out, "Dear Ms. Wagner, Ms. Barry, Ms. Dean, and Mr. Burrows." And that's a quote. Yesterday, you all spoke, that's direct audience, not you, Mr. Chair. Yesterday, you all spoke in Parliament in support of the Building Amendment Number 3 bill. If you were aware of the true state of the construction industry in New Zealand, particularly with regard to structure adequacy as opposed to leaky buildings, you would not have done so. Now, as explained in my second reading contribution last week, I mentioned that Mr. John Scarry was responsible, along with the O'Sullivan brothers, for the redrafting of a building legislation. But sadly, we are in a worse position than 10 years ago. So that email went on to say the opponents to this bill are right. It does nothing to improve productivity or accountability. It does not introduce compulsory contract insurance to cover long-term defects, and it reduces the already poor protection new house owners have at present, close quote. And also, the Minister in Chair also mentioned about the Building Amendment Bill Number 4. And even reading through the report of the Department of Building and Housing to the Local Government and Environment Committee, we find it's all over the place with reference to the government is not intending to cover this particular issue, and that issue will be likely covered in Building Amendment Bill Number 4. So according to the old paper, the Number 4 bill will be introduced probably tomorrow or this week, so we will look forward to debating on that particular bill. And again, in reply to Ms. Jackie Dean's question as to why Labour was opposed to this bill, Honourable Leon Dazelle and my predecessor, a very good spokesperson for building and construction, Mr. Phil Twyford, outlined our position very clearly. And by the way, our position has been outlined very accurately in the Labour and Green Minority Report. And I reiterate, Labour did support this bill to Select Committee, and while we're in broad agreement with the direction of the Building Act review, which began under the former Labour government anyway, we will not be supporting this bill further, because listening to submitters at Select Committee and reflecting on this particular bill has led us to the view it should not proceed. The aim of the Building Act review is to better allocate responsibility and accountability between regulatory authorities, building professionals, and again, end users, i.e. the consumers. But that will not be achieved by this bill because it is a piecemeal approach. It includes only some parts of the reform agenda that has been widely discussed with the industry over the last few years. So, Mr. Chair, thank you.
Honourable Leanne Dalziel.
Mr. Chairman, I wanted